Howdy, boys and girls. Welcome back to the Carla and Crappy Show. We're getting down there to the end. We have completed the quarterfinal games in the college football playoff. We will discuss the semifinal games on this very program. And the final two bowl games of the season are on now as we speak. This is a great place for us to start. AJ, what Bowlapalooza updates do you have for us before we dig into the playoff games?
We have ourselves a champion. And
is it
that's
me?
Also
is it me?
Not. It's not you.
Okay.
I would like to congratulate our very own Carla
Woo!
For the first time in the history of Bowlapalooza is your Bowlapalooza champion.
It's about dang time.
Carla went, I believe, 5 for 8.
Okay.
Let me pull up the final score. Sorry, 6 for 8. Let's make sure we get
2?
that correct.
I'll take it.
Yes.
6. She went 6-2 in the bowl games. Crappy went 4 for 8. Jake and Kelly also went 4 for 8, but Carla cleared. Her big picks of Virginia and Illinois are what got her the W here. Okay. She was the only one who picked Illinois to beat Tennessee, and she and I are the only ones who picked Virginia to beat Missouri, and that gave her the leg up on everyone else. The AI models, for those of you who are wondering, Gemini 3 Pro went 2 for 8. GPT-5 and Claude Sonnet 4.5 went 3 for 8 as well. So, Carla, congratulations. You doubled up AI. Our jobs continue to be safe.
That's good.
Yeah, Bowlapalooza is complete. All of the bowl games. We didn't even need the tiebreaker. The tiebreaker, by the way, was the total score of the Celebration Bowl. The total score of the Celebration Bowl was 78 points. So congratulations to you, Avocado. We're just going to give you the credit for this one. You had the highest total at 67. So you get a bonus point there. So,
that's awesome, Aiden. Congratulations for that, Carla. The thrift store that the previous Bowlapalooza trophies have come from actually had a fire last week. Now, I don't think it's a big deal. And they may be open again now. But so I may have to go to the other one. But we'll find you something nice.
That'll be great. I'll have a place of prime prominence on my desk at MTSU. That's where this thing is going to go.
That sounds perfect.
Yes, so I'm very much looking forward to it. My only words are never underestimate the power of spite, friends. That's gonna be a recurring theme for me today.
Especially not in college football. That makes the world go round. It does.
I have never rooted so hard in my life for Bert, and I never will again. Because man, that was hard. But man, when I win by Illinois, that was a lot of fun. Excellent. Yeah, I was nowhere near that game. Anybody in Nashville was like, nope, steering clear of that one.
Okay.
So I watched most of that game from the comfort of my couch at home, as long as Ellie would let me watch the TV. Right. But yeah, no, it was Illinois. Thank you for pulling it out for me.
The side note about that game, this is of course the Music City Bowl. They're in Nashville, Tennessee, home of hot chicken.
Yes.
I don't remember which one. One of you guys found
It was me.
That was you. Okay.
Yeah, we found the hot chicken eating contest, which does happen. We did confirm that.
I would have been awfully disappointed to find out that was not a thing.
What I found interesting was that it wasn't team based. I mean, there were definitely the teams were involved and they were sitting together, but it was very clearly like one person wins the championship. And I will need to find the video, but it was a lineman from Illinois who won who won the championship. So do better, Tennessee.
I mean, it's your home state, guys. I would think. The one thing that did not happen with the hot chicken eating contest that I really wish had was that Bert participated in the contest. but that would be that could demoralize his own players as well as Tennessee's. So perhaps it's for the best. But so it did happen. So which was a great thing. We are here to talk about football and the unfortunate results for me anyway of the quarterfinal games. I mean, we can just we can do this way. If there are, we've all had a chance to watch these for the most part. If Carla, start with you. What did you think about what jumped out at you from the quarterfinal games? Where were the surprises? Where were the games that which were the most spiteful games for you?
Yeah.
What how did your quarterfinals weekend go?
Well, let's say, first of all, I missed a good chunk of the first half of the Rose Bowl. I don't want to talk about it. That's the joys of having a 4-year-old. But I will say I saw a lot of people posting this after the Sugar Bowl finally ended
Yeah.
for like the 5th time.
Yeah.
That like top to bottom, New Year's Day was one of the greatest days of college football. And I kind of tend to agree with that. If you sat down and watched it all the way through, all 3 of those games were spectacular for different reasons, right? Starting the day with Oregon, I was very surprised, very, very surprised at the lack of offensive output from Texas Tech in that game. That was something I was not expecting. I picked Texas Tech to win that game. I thought the Texas Tech defense was going to be able to do enough. And the answer was no, they didn't. I mean, they slowed down an Oregon offense that's pretty darn good, but they just couldn't get anything going offensively, and which was a credit to Dan Lanning and the schematics that they put together for that game. That was probably the most surprising of all of the outcomes. I mean, yes, Miami upsetting Ohio State was surprising, but Texas Tech getting blanked was probably the biggest surprise for me out of the entire set of games. Indiana looks like they're playing with a mission. Yeah. What a performance. What a performance. They absolutely dominated both sides of that ball game. Impressive. And that's going to be really fun. We'll talk about the rematch with Oregon here in a bit. And then what can I say about Chambliss? Trina Chambliss. I mean, the kid, what a story. What athleticism. That game was insane. It looked like Georgia had that game in the bag.
Yeah. It
like third quarter, it was like Georgia's going to just run out this clock and like it's done. And the Ole Miss offense was like, no, we're not done yet. And then, although I will say this, like, yes, it was the Ole Miss offense, but also it was really Kirby Smart got into his own head too much.
Yeah, I agree. He is. I make fun of him all the time, but he's a fantastic coach, and it did not always look like that during the Sugar Bowl.
He got too cute. Like he the fake punt. Okay, sure, it was a good call. It was unexpected. The play was executed perfectly. But why are you going for it on 4th down? Right, like that call baffles me. You had the game in hand. Punt the ball. Play the field position game there. And instead he runs his offense out there again. It was a little bit cocky, not gonna lie. Like he went out there like, no, we're gonna just run this down your face, and Ole Miss was like, no, we're not. And it ends up in a sack, and Ole Miss goes down, and that's the score that put them within 2. And from that point on, they had the momentum. Like that fourth down swung the momentum in the game.
Yeah, I agree.
And kudos to Ole Miss for capitalizing on it. While Lane Kiffin was at the LSU women's basketball game, which, by the way, they lost on a buzzer beater to Kentucky, which was hilarious. On Kim Mulkey lookalike night, like they did like a dress like Kim Mulkey night at halftime. Yeah,
really.
Yeah.
I need to find video of this.
And then they lost on a buzzer beater to Kentucky on their home floor, which is just like,
yeah, sorry.
Piece de resistance. Thank you very much. And no, I mean, I'll leave the Miami Ohio State breakdown to you all, but
I might have a thought.
yeah, yes, Miami won the game, but there were really two plays that swung that game. Two plays. The pick six, obviously. I mean, hell of a play by the DB. Read the pass.
Yep.
And then the missed field goal.
Yes.
Those two things go the other way. The game is tied at the end. The score looks more lopsided because they let Miami score at the end of the game because they had to.
Yep.
That game was, everyone's like, oh, Miami, knocked off the defending national champions. Yeah, they did, but like it wasn't an overly dominating performance. That was a pretty evenly matched football game the whole way through. Two plays really swung it, So no shame in Ohio State's performance. I mean, yeah, came out a little sluggish, but I mean that was a good game. But yeah, no, top to bottom, it was four really good football games for four completely different reasons, and I thoroughly enjoyed everything that I saw.
Yeah. Yeah. AJ, what stuck out at you?
I missed the entirety of Miami, Ohio State. I thought it was impressive that Miami goes into the half up 14-0.
Yeah.
Ohio State comes out and they bring it back to within a field goal. And they had a chance to win that game. Let's be clear there. The other thing here is just to kind of point out, I believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Brian Hartline was not there. He was not calling plays.
He was there.
UCF.
He was there. He was on the sideline, but he was not calling plays for that game.
So, hey, Ryan Day, I know that you're a big brain offensive genius type of guy. You need an OC. You know how you won a national championship last year? It's because Chip Kelly was calling the plays, not you.
Yep.
You want to know why you were so good all year? Because Brian Hartline was calling the plays, not you. When you take over the offense again, it doesn't go well.
Please don't do that.
So,
and find a kicker.
I would like to see Ohio State. Yeah, like for Ohio State, I think the thing about Ohio State is that all year they never really left like third gear.
Yeah, I agree.
And you don't leave third gear. You kind of put it in fourth gear a little bit in the Big Ten title game, but you never really get past that either. And then you get a month off before you play again. And that bye did not do you any favors.
No.
And I think they had no urgency. Last year they had urgency. We've lost to Michigan. Ryan Day's like, I'm coaching for my life right now. And I got to do something about this. And that's where you see this, like, we're going to go out and just destroy Tennessee, and then we're going to destroy Oregon, and then we're going to destroy Texas, and then we're going to go win a national championship and destroy them too. Like, there was a sense of urgency, and they never had it this year. I'll let you continue on about Ohio State and Miami. The Oregon-Texas Tech game, I said Oregon was going to win because I said it was going to come down to Dante Moore versus Bear Morton, and Bear Morton does not scare me. And I was right.
Yeah.
They had nothing. Oregon cooked them front to back. Their DB, I'm blanking on his name now, Brandon Finney, I believe.
Finney, yes. Yes.
Had 2 picks and a fumble recovery. He is a freshman. Just FYI, you're going to see him a little bit more.
Do not like him.
And then they just basically held Texas Tech away. Like, we're not giving you anything. There are some feelings about the touchdown at the end of the game. I think Jesse Palmer summed it up kindly as a former Spurrier quarterback. I'm putting points I'm going to continue playing until there's zeros on the clock. It's your job to stop me.
Yep.
And I appreciate that. Indiana came out and punched Alabama in the mouth, and Alabama could not back that up. And for every SEC honk who's like, go through Alabama's schedule, Feinbaum was doing this nonsense too.
Yes.
Alabama didn't play anybody either. I can look at their entire schedule, and they played Georgia, who then wrecked them in the SEC championship game. Yep. Otherwise, they didn't play anybody that was distinctly better than anybody else on Indiana's schedule. Because, oh, by the way, they're having a rematch with a team they've already beat this year. and they beat Ohio State to win the Big Ten, and then they just smoked Alabama by five whole touchdowns, which is 5 more touchdowns than Alabama scored because Alabama did not score a touchdown. They had a sad field goal when they were down by 24. Crappy was with me. Crappy was at my house. We were watching this together in my kitchen.
I cannot help giggling like the way I'm giggling right now.
Not just you, the entire room was giggling watching Alabama get absolutely taken to the woodshed by Indiana in the Rose Bowl. This is a real statement. Indiana is the #1 team in the country, the winner of the Big Ten, the winner of the Rose Bowl, and they beat Alabama by 5 touchdowns. Build the statue. Put a statue of Curt Cignetti on the campus right now. I don't care. Like, he has fundamentally turned this program around. Mendoza looked good. The offense looked great. Charlie Becker is unreal. And it was impressive to watch that. And then Ole Miss Georgia comes on. And I'm like, okay, we're about to see the same game. And Trinidad Chambliss said, Johnny Manziel, join me in my spirit. And he went full Manziel against Saban.
Yeah.
If you guys remember, this was a decade ago at this point. That hurts me to say that out loud. But watching Johnny Manziel put Nick Saban into a pretzel, just doing stuff, just back there doing stuff. That's what Johnny Manziel was doing. There was no like, oh, we really schemed it up real good. No, Trinidad Chambliss was running around doing stuff. And it was the sort of game that gives a defensive coordinator like Kirby, like a defensive coach, nightmares. Because there's nothing you can do to stop that. You can't scheme against, well, he ducked and dodged 3 defensive linemen and then threw a 60-yard pass on a rope. You can't scheme that out. Okay? And it was interesting watching that. That was a level of play that I feel like I hadn't seen from Trinidad all year. Partially because I think that's not how Lane calls a game either. I think there's some of this where he's like, yeah, just throw the ball away, kid. Don't worry about it. A reminder, Ole Miss was leading Georgia going into that 4th quarter in Athens. They're not bad.
Yeah.
And what we are getting out of this with Miami, with Oregon, with Indiana, and with Ole Miss, you are getting a brand new champion for the first time since 1996, I think. Or no, 2000, because Miami won in 01. It has been a very long time since we've seen any of these teams sniff a national championship, if ever. So I'm very excited for the semis and the final, regardless of who's in it, just because we're getting something new, right? We've been demanding something new. We did not want to see another Alabama-Georgia national championship. We didn't want to see another, I got to be really honest. Sorry, Crappy. I don't want to see Ohio State a national champion either.
You're totally fine.
Seeing Oregon and Indiana playing for a chance to go to a natty, and one of them has a legitimate chance to win a national championship against either team, whether it's Miami or Ole Miss, is amazing. And for everybody who has been complaining about the size of the playoff or whatever, this is why we wanted it to be 12. This is why we wanted it to be bigger, because if you just took the top 4 teams, 3 of them lost yesterday.
Right. Yeah.
A reminder that the only team who has survived the bye and won in the quarterfinals is your Indiana Hoosiers. That's it. That's the list. Every other team has lost. It is bananas to think about this. And go ahead.
It's also worth noting, with everybody complaining about James Madison. James Madison scored points on Oregon.
Yeah.
In Autzen.
Yeah.
Guess who didn't score any points yesterday on a neutral site that wasn't really neutral site because there were more Texas Tech fans in that stadium.
Crappy and I were talking about this and how do you quote unquote fix the first round bye? Because clearly it is a problem for the teams coming off of the bye. Because it's not just like with the NFL playoffs, if you get you get a bye, you're not in the wild card round, you get a bye to the divisional round.
Yeah.
You have that's only a week.
Right.
It's basically an extra bye week. if you are in the semifinals, you have like a week and a half extra because the first round games were the 19th and the 20th.
Right.
So it's like an extra 10 days. It's almost 2 weeks between even those games. So you're off for like a month. Krabby and I were talking about this. I think the answer is you move it out to a full 16. And the first round is 1v16 at home, and you have 8 games as a first round, and then you have your semis, and then because nothing else changes about the schedule. You just add the additional home games in that first round. I know that ESPN just loves having their like, this is this quarterfinal or this first round game, and it's the only game that's on. But I can absolutely see like, hey, we have a Friday night game, and then we have 2 noon, 2 4, 2 8 p.m. slots, or 2 Friday night games. Like you have 2 games going on at the same time. It's not like you don't have networks or time slots available at that time, ESPN.
Yeah.
Like to me, that's how you quote unquote fix the first round buys. And you also give these like, it would have been who would have been the next 4? Stand by. This is riveting
Texas,
audio.
Texas, Notre Dame, Vandy.
Yeah.
No, I want the rankings. Where's the rankings? The final rankings were, yeah. So it would have been Notre Dame, BYU, Texas, and Vandy. So you would have had Vandy versus Indiana in Bloomington. You would have had, or I take that back. You would have had James Madison versus Indiana. It would have been Tulane and JMU would have been the last seeds.
Right.
So you would have had James Madison against Indiana, so the Kurt Signetti Bowl.
Yeah.
You would have had Tulane, Ohio State in Columbus. Delightful. You would have had Vandy, Georgia, a game that did not happen this year.
Oh, that would have been fun. Oh, man.
You would have had Texas Tech in Lubbock. Yes, please. BYU goes to Oregon, a Pac-12 After Dark classic.
Yep.
You would have had Notre Dame going to Oxford to play Ole Miss.
That'd be fun.
You would have had Miami, Texas A&M, and then Oklahoma, Alabama. So all of that is good. This is easy.
Yeah.
And instead, Notre Dame opted out of their playoff game. BYU would not have been in the Pop-Tarts Bowl, and then Texas and Vandy would not have been in the ReliaQuest and the Citrus Bowl. So you would have probably had Utah you probably would have had Utah instead of BYU in the Pop-Tarts Bowl because they were 15.
Yeah.
USC would have been in the Citrus Bowl or something along those lines. But this is the sort of thing where you have, I think just adding those 4 and, oh, well, you're adding in teams. Do you really think Vanderbilt's going to beat? But maybe.
Yeah.
Do I think that? No.
Absolutely.
But listen, UMBC beat Virginia for the first time. It's the first time a 16 beat a 1 seed. We see 15 seeds beat 2 seeds all the time.
Yes.
This is very possible. Let it happen. But the sport, I think, is a little scared to let more people in because they know that it would take these big brands that provide big, giant eyeballs from having the fair shot at the championship. Who was it? Chris Vanini was like, why would we expand? It should just be bigger. Like, why? I said, it's very simple. Go look at FCS. Illinois State won 4 road games. They were not a seeded team. They were like one of the last teams to get in. They beat North Dakota State, and now they're going to be playing for a national championship. That's why.
Yeah.
It's a great story. Let these sorts of things happen. It's not just about the game of and the play and the ratings. This should also be about you were awarding a championship to the team who won the last game of the season. You should let that happen. But Crappy, how do you feel about the quarterfinals?
Not as annoyed as I thought I might be. The I think the Sugar Bowl was the biggest surprise for me, and I think Ole Miss got there just enough defense, the speed bump defense, and then they got past a Georgia defense that I really thought had peaked at the right time. They looked so good in the SEC title game against Alabama. That the result speaks for itself. But maybe there's a thing here where the players are want to close this out as on a high note with the departure of Kiffin. But they did what they needed to do to get that win. That was a fantastic finish to the quarterfinals. Texas Tech just underperformed everywhere. I don't get, especially since some of the stuff that we saw during the regular season, I don't get why that happened. The defense was, I think the defense slows down Oregon a bit, but 23-0. Once again, the Red Raiders offense, you figure is going to have a tough time against the Ducks, which have been so good, especially under Dan Lanning, with that unit. But they just, as you guys said, nothing. There was just nothing there that they could put together. Indiana Alabama was just fun. I loved that. It's fantastic. And as AJ said, we just sort of stood in their kitchen and giggled. It's like, oh, they scored again. Okay. Friday night, the thing that I was most worried about happened. The Hurricanes defense, front seven especially, they got to Julian Sand. Now there were adjustments. There were at halftime. Ohio State was able to put together. It's a lot more emphasis, and you saw this on Ohio State's last drive before halftime. Quicker releases, passes to tight ends, running backs, or very short passes to the receivers. Although Jeremiah Smith, I think, had almost 160 yards receiving, so it wasn't all nickel and diming. Super happy to see Ohio State come back the way it did after the halftime. It's tough. Julian Sands' pick six was just a terrible play and a great read by Miami secondary. I don't know what to do. I do know what to do about the kicker. Go find one. Go find one.
There's one kicker you're not allowed to have. All right, my sweet baby boy Kansei Matsuzawa is staying his ass in Honolulu. That's it. You can have all the other ones.
I definitely
You
was
leave
not
the Tokyo toe. You leave the Tokyo toe with the bows, please.
Going to suggest that, but now that you mention it, it's not a bad idea. I mean, the kid's used to kicking in Ohio.
He's been to Ohio. He knows it's cold. He doesn't need that. Let this man have nice weather and be closer-ish to his family. Ohio's a lot further away from Japan than Hawaii is, even though Hawaii is still very far from Japan.
It's true. It's true. I mean, that's clearly got to be a point of emphasis. Offensive line in the first half, especially, just looked awful. That's something you can experience will help with that. But and I've said this before, that needs to be a point of emphasis when we're getting into the guys who are in the portal. It worked really well last year. I'm not going to remember the guy's name. The guy from the center from Alabama was having a magnificent season until his injury ended it for him. So, big picture, I felt like Ohio State's offense, especially, It's just another season under their belts. So most of that group comes back. Going to be in good shape. Kicker, offensive line, and as AJ said, an offensive coordinator, one who will call the plays. That's that. Ryan is has struggled to do that. So that kind of thing I think is going to be necessary. But and Miami's a good team. That's the other side of this. I tend to be myopic and focus on my guys, but that is a very good team. So we will see how it goes in the semifinals. And hey, you want to talk about the semifinals?
Yes, please.
Yes,
Okay,
please.
let's do that. They begin on Thursday, January 8th. Got to remember to mention dates with this because I think this is Friday. So we'll figure that out. Thursday,
Checking.
January
It's
8th.
Thursday.
Today's Thursday. Today's Thursday.
Yes, it is next
today.
week. It is on the 8th.
It's on the okay. Thursday, January 8th. The 10 seed Miami will play the 6 seed Ole Miss. This game is at 7:30 p.m. on ESPN. It is, of course, the Fiesta Bowl in Glendale, whatever that stadium is called now. Miami is favored by 3.5 points. The over/under is 51.5. To me, that feels more like a leaning Ole Miss kind of thing. But we'll see how that goes as well. AJ, what do you think about this one? How's it going to go?
I am really interested because one thing that Miami has proven over the last 2 games is Ruben Bain is a monster. He is that defensive line, I think, was what really surprised people during the Ohio State game in terms of getting in and disrupting anything Ohio State wanted to do.
Yeah.
In fact, I believe, if I'm just checking the box score real quick here, because Ohio State had a grand total of 45 yards rushing
Yeah.
on 24 attempts. It's not like they didn't try. And they shut down everything.
Well, they actually, if that's counting in saying sack
it does.
heritage. So if you take
which was
that out,
significant.
it's still bad. It's like 86 yards or something like that, but it's not. But yeah, it's better than 45, but not by much.
Incremental. Yes.
Yeah, I always forget that is the weird thing that the NCAA stats do is that they cut out those numbers. I think the other thing here is that Miami was very good on third down. They were 7 of 14 against Ohio State on third down. They were 1 for 1 on fourth down. They were able to stay on the field. And that ability to stay on the field was keeping them in the game. I see them leaning on Mark Fletcher Jr. and the running game. They finally decided, hey, wait a minute, let's run the football. Carson Beck had 26 passing attempts. They had 37 rushing attempts. They clearly saw an ability to run the ball on Ohio State. We're not going to try to throw the ball nearly as much as we need to. And I think, as Spencer Hall has said, Carson Beck is waiting to drop another 4 interception game. Like, he's been storing them up. He doesn't throw a lot of picks, but when he does, he throws them in bunches.
Yes, he does.
That was the was it the Florida State game, I believe? He threw 4 picks even though they won? He still or no, it was the Louisville game. When they lost, he threw 4 picks during that game. Carson Beck has had like a perfectly mid playoff. Like, he's not doing anything terribly well, but he's not doing anything poor either. I think he's going to have to do more to keep up with Ole Miss. The Ole Miss offense is humming. And what I saw from the Ole Miss Georgia game is Ole Miss's defense got nasty.
They did.
They were hounding Gunnar Stockton. Some of those calls probably should have been targeting calls.
Maybe.
There was one where even on the replay, I feel bad for Gunnar Stockton's cervical area in his neck, because I think Ole Miss goes out and tries to boat race Miami. They're going to have to. because I don't think Miami's offense, it's going to require Malachi Tony to do a lot and Mark Fletcher to do a lot, because I don't think it's Carson Beck able to do that. I'm going to take Ole Miss here. Ole Miss going to a natty after Lane Kiffin leaves is just funny as hell to me, and so I think I'm going to go with the funniest answer here.
And that's worked out pretty well for you this season. So yeah, I like it. Carla.
And I follow that up with never underestimate the power of spite. This, both of these teams enter this game. They've been playing this way the entire playoff with a chip on their shoulders, right? Miami playing with a chip on their shoulder because everyone's saying we shouldn't be here. Everyone's saying we shouldn't be here, that we should have been, that Notre Dame should have had our spot, not us. They're playing like their hair is on fire.
Yeah.
Right? Ole Miss, we all saw the shirts, friends. We saw the shirts. There are kids who listen to this show, so I'm not going to say what the shirts said. But we saw the shirts.
Yeah.
And we've seen the way that this team has been playing. And they have one goal, to win a national championship with a new head coach. And what we saw, AJ, I agree with everything that you just said, particularly around, you talked about and everybody's right here, like the Miami defensive line was incredible, right? But so was Ole Miss's defensive line. Will Eccles and Xavier Harris, beasts. Absolute beasts in the center of that line. Eccles was defensive MVP. When was the last time we saw a defensive lineman win MVP of a bowl game? Had a bunch of pass breakups. I mean, his hand was just everywhere. Just breaking stuff, knocking stuff down. Had 2 tackles for loss. Harris, who was playing on some sort of injury in the second half, like late in that game, because he was down multiple times in between plays, something with lower body injury. I'm not exactly sure. But if you check the box score, friends, 10 tackles. 10. He was a single man wrecking ball.
Yeah.
5 solo. 10 tackles, 5 of them solo. That is insane. You combine that with what Chambliss was able to do and the way that he is way more mobile than Julian Sand.
Yeah. Yes.
Right? And that was where Miami had their success, was pressuring Julian Sand. Well, here's the thing. Ask Georgia how that went. Right? You can put pressure on Trinidad Chambliss. He's going to escape it probably 75% of the time. Right? So can Miami put up the same level of defense to try to slow down Chambliss? And
yeah.
even in the loss, even with the pressure, Sand was 22 of 35 for 287. He was still able to put up passing, even with being chased and running for his life in most of the first half.
Yeah.
Ole Miss is going to win this football game. Ole Miss is going to go play for a national championship with a brand new head coach because they are playing with spite, friends. Rebs.
Love it. I have, it's tough to separate, what is down the road from what Miami did to Ohio State, especially in the first half of that game. But watching Ole Miss turn Georgia inside out, I think Georgia is, if Kirby can get out of his own way, Georgia is still a better team than Miami. If we're going to go look at who is more spiteful at this point, I like Ole Miss here. Being able to have that kind of motivation, you have been ditched by a coach that, by all reports, was a popular guy. It's Miami's. I said this before the quarterfinal game. Miami's offense is good, but they're going to have to be better than that if they're going to keep up with, because the Ole Miss offense is at a whole different level. So yeah, I think the Runnin' Rebels are the team to watch for in the Fiesta Bowl. And then on Friday, January 9th, 2026. Remember, boys and girls, it's 2026 now. At 7:30 p.m. on ESPN in lovely Mercedes-Benz Stadium in lovely Atlanta, Georgia. 5 seed Oregon versus 1 seed Indiana, the Big Ten Bowl. Carla, before I throw it to you, I'm going to remind you guys that IU is favored by 4. The over-under is 47.5. So, Carla, how's this going to go?
Indiana's playing like a team on a mission. I said that after watching the Rose Bowl. Their number 2 ranked rush defense lived up to the billing. I'm sorry. They held Alabama to 23 yards rushing, and I went back in and factored in the sack yardage.
Yes.
23 yards rushing. Completely dominant on defense.
Yeah.
All the way around. This is interesting though, because Oregon, knowing that they were playing a really, really, really good Texas Tech defense, number 1 in the country against the run, they relied on Dante Moore. AJ, exactly what you said. Like, they relied on Dante Moore. The Ducks were extremely pass heavy against Texas Tech, more so than they have been at any other point during the season, and it worked. They won the football game, right? They were able to put their offense together. But here's the thing. Like, Indiana is good at defending the run. We saw that against Alabama, but they're also pretty darn good at defending the pass. So the lean on Dante Moore and hope that he can put up enough yards, he and his receiving core, to beat Indiana might not be quite as effective in this game as it was in the quarterfinals. I know it's really hard to beat a team twice in the same season. This is a rematch. Indiana won the first game in Autzen, and this was the game. That was the game that we all kind of went, "Oh, Indiana might actually be for real."
Right.
Like I said, Indiana's playing like it's been on a mandate. This Atlanta crowd is gonna be very pro Indiana because the Oregon fans have a long way to go, and as we saw in the Rose Bowl, I mean, that was like a 75% Indiana crowd. Now, true, they've been waiting a long time to go to Pasadena, and I feel really awful that they got a rain game. Just like you wait all that time to go to go back to a bowl game and to go back to the Rose Bowl, and then you get a monsoon during the parade. I mean, that sucks.
And bands could not perform halftime on the field.
Bands didn't get to play halftime. There was a high school band in the parade. I don't remember who it was. The last time they were in the Rose Parade was like 2006, which was the last rain game. So like they literally their high school don't invite them back. Yeah, because it always rains. I wish I could remember which band it was, but they said that, and I was just like, oh, that stinks. Anywho, it's gonna be a pro Indiana crowd in the Benzo Dome. Hoosiers.
AJ, what do you think?
I think one of the more interesting stats of the entire Rose Bowl is when you think of Heisman Trophy winners, what's one of the default picks? Like over the course of history, it's you give it to the running back from Alabama, right?
Yes.
Like Mark Ingram, Derrick Henry, the list goes on. Alabama had a grand total of 23 yards rushing. Indiana had 215. They ran the dang ball all over Alabama.
Yep.
Mendoza was 14 of 16 for 192 and 3 TDs. Like just yeomans, a workman like. Just, hey, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to throw it a couple times. Yeah, it'll be all right. Charlie Becker had 2 catches, 1 for 30 yards, 1 for 21 yards. Amar Cooper Jr. had 3 for 45. 1 was a 38-yard catch. These are Army numbers. That is an Army box score. You're like, but like multiple successful, like we're going to run deep pass, right? That's Army's offense.
Yes.
And that's what they did to Alabama, which is, I love that. I am very interested to see Indiana uncork it a little bit, which they did against Oregon the first time around in Autzen, where they won 30-20. I'm picking the Hoosiers here because for everything that we saw in terms of like Oregon just kind of choking out Texas Tech, it's not like Oregon's offense was firing on all cylinders. Let's say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That game was, I think, 6-0 going into halftime.
That sounds about right.
It was interesting to see the like, yeah, it was 6-0 going into halftime. Neither team was really doing much. They were just kind of like going back and forth. I think they each punted like punting. Oregon punted twice, Texas Tech punted 4 times. It was just like a whole lot of ain't nothing happening in the middle. That score is a bit of a lie. It's like it wasn't really 23. They scored with 16 seconds left. So you're looking really at like a 16-0 win. Like Texas Tech's defense kept them in the game. Their offense just could not do a thing.
Yeah.
Indiana's defense is really good. And I'm taking the Hoosiers here. And you're hold on. I picked Ole Miss to beat Miami, and I'm picking an Indiana Ole Miss championship game. This is a great season, you guys. This is a truly great season. This is a tremendous season. I came to the realization right as I said the words Indiana out loud.
Yeah. And yeah.
That, oh, man. Indiana Ole Miss championship game. A thing we all said at the beginning of the season.
Yes.
Which, by the way, I pulled up all of our brackets. If you would like, after this, we can go through those, or maybe we'll wait until the championship game.
We'll save it for the championship show.
We'll save it for the championship preview, and we'll talk about how truly wrong we were. But
It's our tagline for a reason, friends.
Yeah. This is.
we will tell you how wrong we were in the preseason during the championship game preview. This is kind of wild. Like Ole Miss, Indiana, sure. Neither one of these teams has sniffed a natty in
Decades.
my lifetime or anyone else on this crappy. I don't think they sniffed it during yours either. Like, oof. And the fact that they're going to win a natty with the fact that they potentially could win a natty with Lane Kiffin Lane Kiffin left, and then they win one. Carla, the power of spite is incredible. And the power.
It won me Bowlapalooza.
Yeah. Yes.
I also think that Indiana is playing with the power of spite because
They
that
are.
is Kurt Signetti's baseline, which is you told me I couldn't win at Indiana. Do you know who I am? Google me. I win. Like that whole Google me. I win. Yeah, he's playing off of spite. I'm going to go beat Ohio State. I'm going to go beat Oregon. I'm going to go beat Penn State. I'm going to go beat Michigan. And he's done all of that.
Yes.
He never smiled at the Rose Bowl.
Why would
meme.
he?
Not until the very end of the game. And
it's
Until
a
the end of the
meme.
game.
Yeah.
He doesn't smile. And just watching Buzz from Home Alone just go out there and absolutely destroy everybody in college football has been kind of amazing. Go look it up. Crappy, who you got here?
I remember Indiana's last Rose Bowl appearance was technically during my lifetime. I don't recall much of the game because I was one. There were stray years, especially like John Cooper and Earl Bruce lost games to Indiana. And then Carla, you will recall me just being incredibly annoyed in about 10 years back. Indiana's just at that point they had an insane offense, and there was a series of like 5 years. Ohio State never lost, but the games were just like, okay, we have anointed the Hoosiers as the most annoying team in the Big Ten because you and I had these conversations almost annually. I love what's going on at Ole Miss. For the team, the players to react the way they have has been fantastic, and it is absolutely nothing but spite. That is, and some talent that as well. But that's that is where that's coming from. Indiana's Indiana's spite perhaps is more long term. And the players are they're 19 years old. They don't remember the history, and they don't remember how exactly how bad it has been. And what Kurt Signetti has done is almost unfathomable. For him to turn around that program in the time that he has, finding Mendoza this year was a stroke of genius. Because if you think they were good, they were very good a year ago, but that addition, that's why I don't feel so bad about Mendoza winning the Heisman, because there is no more impactful player in college football. So the Ole Miss story is fantastic. They've had a fantastic season and even better postseason, and Indiana is still going to beat them next week. And we will set up with an IU. I'm not going to make my pick yet for that game. I'm not going to do it. But I don't see Indiana having an especially rough time with in the semifinal game in Atlanta. Boys and girls, you can hear the Carly Crappy Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and a variety of other podcasting hosts. You can watch us on YouTube and on the show's Facebook page. You can read us on our Substack. If you like us, please subscribe, rate, and review. If you don't, mind your own damn business. And be sure to come back next week. When do we do? No, we're doing this in like two. I don't know.
It's like a week and a half.
Like a week and a half.
I don't know when this is going to be.
Like it'll be in about 2 weeks. So the games that were the games we just previewed are on the 8th and the 9th.
Yes.
And then we will be talking to you guys the week of the 12th, and you will hear all of our thoughts. We'll do some FCS and D3.
D3.
Because D2 already played. Trinidad Chambliss' Ferris State reloaded and won again.
Yep.
So we'll do FCS. We'll do some D3 cover of those championship games, because those are on the 4th and the 5th. So yeah, this should be a pretty good time, and we'll talk to you then.
And you will find out just exactly how wrong we were about the entire 2025 season. We've been beating this drum for several weeks now, but 3 D1 games left. Make sure you take them in. There's still FCS games. There are other small. Don't miss any of them, guys, because it's the long cold winter and summer is about to begin. Thank you guys, Carla and AJ. I know we had to work hard this weekend to make sure we watched all of the quarterfinal this stuff, in addition to bowl games as well. And thank you guys for watching, for listening, for reading, for doing all of the things. And join us, watch these games, and we will be back here in some time before the title game to talk about the title game and everything else. Thank you, everyone. Cheers, and enjoy the semifinals.